What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. Sorry for not posting a lot of YouTube videos lately. I've been taking sort of a break, you know, hanging out with Wilhelm. Now that's a break. But yeah, I've been focusing on being a dad, being a little bit chill with the whole Tekken thing. But today I want to talk a little bit about Lei, but first I just want to say I hope you all are staying safe, you know, amidst all of this corona panic. I have to say that I have unfortunately cancelled my Evo ticket because there's just too much uncertainty regarding this whole thing, and I think Evo is going to get cancelled like pretty much everything else. The global economy is tanking, and the health hazard, we still don't know what this is, so I just felt like, no, I'm taking a step back, and it breaks my heart. I really want to go to Evo, but yeah, this year it's just not happening. But I would have wanted to make it 2 years in a row. But so I'm very sorry about that, but I just didn't see any other way. But so let's discuss Lei. I recently got this character to Tekken God Prime, and I actually had a lot of fun. It wasn't very hard, and it's because he has an enormous strength in that he was released in Season 2. He was released pretty late into Tekken 7, and no one plays him. He has very low character usage, and that's a big problem when he's one of the hardest matchups to learn. He's a confusion type character, and you probably know what that means just by hearing me say that. It's a character who really tests your opponent's, you know, knowledge of not really fundamental Tekken, but more so the Lei specific matchup, in that he just has limitless mix-ups with, I think it's 13 stances in total, and just a billion strings and mix-up opportunities. This character, it just never ends. And when you combine that with the fact that no one ever plays the character, you can tell when you play him that no one has any clue whatsoever to what you're doing, and everything is sort of for free. And I felt the same. It's not like Lei is a very strong character in the end. If you go to Evo and you play against Ni or Lowhigh, this is one of the worst characters you can use. And that goes for Gigas as well. But they are pretty easy to rank up overall and win with, because we are not at Evo playing against Lowhigh and Ni. We are playing in ranked battle, and whatever region you are in, most people just don't encounter these characters. So Gigas and Lei, it was honestly relatively easy, because all of the dumb setups, you know, and classic flow charts or strings, just everything just works. You get away with murder. But that's not, I just wanted to explain that, because that's an important little nugget to take in with this character, that no one knows this matchup basically. It's only until you run into like very, very solid players, often tournament players, they'll have a good idea of Lei, but most people don't, because they get too little experience with the matchup. But I do want to stress in this video what makes Lei so fun to play. And an important fundamental in Tekken is, of course, retreating. You know, using a Korean backdash to distance yourself from the opponent. But that can be hard to do. So with Lei, we have the haha step. And this is really cool. We can really control spacing and a match by just doing haha step. So that's back 3+4 to be into back turn, and then hold down back. And you get a very effective, super fast way of just retreating from the opponent. And when you combine this with some pretty strong keep out with a strong down for 2, that has quite a bit of range and is -7 on block. That's like Lords, you know, Paul's is -8. And it recovers pretty okay on whiff. So when you combine these two, you already have something really cool. And then you try and force them to whiff with this and use a super long range forward 3 mid launcher. That comes out at 17 frames if you do it as quickly as possible. And you have something really, really cool already here. You know, the space control here of very easily being able to move away from the opponent, try and tag him coming in, or if he runs in, I'll just drop to the ground with down 3-4, completely catch him by surprise. Maybe he's doing Dragunov while running 2 or while running 3, you know, the classic slash kick. I'll just drop to the ground and press 3, whoop, and launch him. It's like there's just so much to play around with here in terms of the haha step. And then also in terms of space control, you know, you're afraid of people sidestepping you. His hell sweep, down back 4, is super strong. And it's so interesting with this sweep to note that if you do the season 3 combo where you do this, you know, you get a full juggle here for, well, full juggle, you get a mini juggle for 45 damage from this unseeable sweep. Oops. That's pretty cool, right? But did it just fail? YouTube curse. We'll just do this. Eesh! I actually never bothered to go with this because this is much better. Down back 4-4. And why is that? Well, the first thing to note is that with this hell sweep, I want to control space, you know, as we do with Lei. Space control. And if I do down back 4-4, it has super long range and it will always clip, you know, for 2 hits. Always 31 damage, and they drop right next to me for great Oki. But still, of course, it does 14 damage. Jesus. It does 14 damage less than this. But it's still worth going for because, you see, if I try and do this combo and it doesn't hit from clean range, you get nothing. But this will always hit. But even more importantly, again, space control. Look what happens if I set King to sidestep. You see, it doesn't track, right? You see? And this is me trying to do the combo version. As you can see, I'm going into Drunken. But look what happens if I do down back 4-4, the one that doesn't require clean hit. Suddenly, the same sweep is homing to both sides. Isn't that pretty interesting? So again, if you just do down back 4-4, very long range and homing. You control spacing with this move. They can't sidestep it and they can't backdash it if you're standing up close because it has so much range. This hell sweep here is incredibly good. And it will very neatly place them onto the wall if you're close to a wall, and then blap, 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 big damage. And another thing with Lei is that every time you get a launch, you get pretty solid damage and a very easy combo. Just up forward 1, 3, hold back, bam, bam. That's 66 damage. It might not sound like a lot, but keep in mind that the launch I just did only does 12 damage. If I do a big damage launcher, like a neutral hop kick, suddenly you see what the damage is. 79 damage. And it's a super easy juggle. You'll land it every time. It's up forward 1, 3, hold back, and then mash back 4-4. And that's it. Lei's damage actually is pretty good. And then, of course, you have... so I'm just trying to pitch what's so funny and interesting about Lei here. So again, you have a high degree of space control with a super easy, super effective way of retreating. You can drop down. You can use strong keep out to keep them away from you. You can the space control of a hell sweep. And you can control to a large degree when to engage with the opponent by going back like this, keep out, and then using the Razor Rush to get in on them. Building a wall with a barrage of attacks, you know, bombarding the opponent. And the Razor Rush is one of the best strings I've ever used in Tekken 7. It is so versatile, and the flexibility and just mix-up potential is out of this world. So when you look at it superficially, it's just blah, 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 blah. 4 punches mid into either a mid-kick ender that is safe on block. It's -9. I'm gonna set him to block here. you can see -9, or we can do a low that's launch punishable at -17, so that's very risky. But every single one of these hits is delayable. Every single hit. So there's a big timing mix-up here. There's not only, you know, is he gonna do a mid or a low, or is he gonna go into a stance, which you can do after every single hit. You can sidestep into a stance, which of course they can knock you out of. That's how you deal with Lei. When you see him do this into a stance, do a quick mid, like a 13 frame down forward one to hit him, just so he doesn't get the stance mix up. But this is harder than it sounds when the Lei is just delaying every hit. When you're playing against a pretty beginner Lei, or a Lei who doesn't really know what he's doing, to be fair, he'll always do something like this. Always do 4 in quick succession into Tiger. And then he's like, oh, why am I always getting knocked out of a stance? I want my 50-50. What a good Lei does, it's like, they'll delay every hit, they'll suddenly go from 1 hit to stance, or 2 hits to stance. But just delaying like this, and then doing Razor over and over again, just keeping your opponent guessing as to what you're going to do, it's super strong. Super strong. And oh my god, can you annoy people and really test their patience. And of course, his 50-50s, you think Mishimas have good 50-50s? Like Lei, this fucking Tiger stance, which you can go into manually, 3+4 free, you'll go into it, and then you have some movement in it. And then of course, you know, you hit 4, and that's a 15 frame sweep. That's faster than a hell sweep. Boom! And then you mix that up with a 15 frame mid-high launcher. They are equally fast. It really is a perfect 50-50. Oh god, I'm hitting the wrong button. And of course, you get a big juggle. Oh. Gotta try and get the wall combo as well here. And then wall pressure. But his 50-50s are pretty damn good. And another really cool gimmick, you know, going in on the opponent, just hitting up 1+2. It's so cheesy. I mean, everyone falls for that. Everyone. Can mix that with a mid. And the forward 3, of course, is punishable on block, but there's a mix-up. You can add another hit to try and clip people who try and interrupt you or punish you. And of course, I love forward 3. You can do it on its own. Then forward 3-1. Just add hits onto that. It's one of the funniest strings in the game, in my opinion. Down 4 is really cool because it's actually neutral on hit. And it's 12 frames fast. This low is super annoying. And it is -12, but you can actually add another hit. Like so, down 4-4. Now you're -15, but you can go into Drunken to avoid punishment. That's not gonna avoid every punish, of course, but it's still cool. Drunken, of course, has a lot of cool stuff. You hear often that Lei has bad poking. Check out this down forward 4. 12 frames fast, mid, so that's faster than a down forward 1. Look at the range. +7 on hit. Only -4 on block. It's really cool. Down forward 3 is a knockdown mid. Long range. He has a lot of like super, I mean, Razor Rush. It's like, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about Lei. Is enormous amount of, you know, just batshit crazy strings and attacks, you know, stances. That's a big bag to mix up from. But interestingly, like most of his stuff, it's also super delayable. You know, just like the Razor Rush. So it's not only like what string is he doing, it's how is he doing it. Everything is just so delayable with this character. I know you can delay this crane as well. Oh, that's how you do it. Oh god. Wait. Oh god. That's delayable. I guess all of this is what I wanted to share about Lei. Like, he has some cool stuff. And his 10 frame while standing free. 25 damage. Now, isn't that a cool punish? Look at the range. That's an awesome while standing punish. I mean, Josie's, you know, down 4, that's only -10. Everyone can just dick jab it. Lei can 25 damage that shit. And a nice 14 frame punish is free. Very easy to do. Blap, blap, and puts you at +4 back turn. And that sweep I showed you, this launching sweep from here, it's -11. And puts him in back turn, of course. But you can mix with this headbutt here, but I think it's safe. Yeah, -8. And most people have no idea what you're doing as soon as you're doing this. But yeah, he's a cool character. I mean, he's super cheesy. No one knows the matchup, and the mix-ups are gonna fuck everyone. Razor Rush is so annoying. On an infinite stage, you can just do this all day long. They can't catch you. In frustration, as I said, they'll start running towards you, try and tackle you. You'll just drop to the ground and roll to avoid a stomp or whatever. So, he's very unique. His space control is awesome. His match control is awesome. His mix-ups are awesome. He can play around a lot with timing. Yeah. I mean, how many characters can match his amount of stances? 0. But, so I hope you thought this was interesting, and I hope some of you try Lei. I mean, it would be to the benefit of everyone if more people learn how to deal with the character, at least. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, hope you stay safe and healthy, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Take care.